Okay, hello everyone. Hope you had a great lunch. So thank you for being here. And today I'll be talking a lot about AI and ML, especially for Android, and how you can use it to leverage your own skills and your apps with all the ML stuff we have right now for Android. As an introduction, my name is Julien Salvi. I'm the lead Android engineer at Aircall based in Paris. I'm an Android GD for 3 years now. I'm part of the Paris Android user group and do some other stuff on the side. Still posting on Twitter, lots of tech stuff. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so to add like a bit of introduction, like the age of AI, ML, it's there, we cannot escape, so let's embrace it. So a bit of context. So AI and machine learning has been booming for like a bit more than 2 years now with ChatGPT, now Gemini, lots of startups doing AI, putting AI almost everywhere. So we are now have access to many tools, and we can do some great stuff with that. But we need to know what tool is like for which specific use case. So we've seen the rise of generative AI with like ChatGPT, Gemini, Mistral AI, and some other stuff. And also lots of machine learning tools was already there, like MediaPipe, TensorFlow, MLKit. It's been there for quite a while, and it's getting better and better every year. So Android, as you know, is not escaping these AI trends. Google is pushing a lot around Gemini, MediaPipe, and some other stuff. We see that there is a big push of AI, even for Android. So now we have access to a large set of tools. Let's see how we can use them wisely to build our apps and leverage our skills. We can identify 2 types of tools for us developers. So AI for developers. I mean, like you have access to AI coding assistant, chat, and so on. So it can like be a pair programming robot with you. So it can improve the way you code, the way you think about like a given architecture, about a piece of code, about a refactoring, and so on. So you can learn and be assisted with this kind of assistance. And AI for apps, like real machine learning tools that you will be like adding into your apps or using thanks to like a third-party library. So each tool has its own learning curve. So sometimes it's quite fast, just an API to use. No need to know much about machine learning, like the whole concept of machine learning. But some other are like a bit steep in the learning curve, like you need to have some extra knowledge of deep understanding of machine learning, some Python language knowledge and stuff like that. And also on the side, as it's meant for some businesses, there's a cost that we cannot like put aside. Some tools are free to use. Some of them can be very costly depending on the usage. So we're speaking about the curve, like the most basic one, like using a coding assistant or like putting a prompt in an AI chat. It's quite easy. Well, the way to master a real good prompt might not be so simple. But then you have access like to some MLKit, Gemini, Mistral AI. So it's just like some like basic learning curve. You know, check the documentation, check how you can use and understand the API that is exposed. You don't need much machine learning knowledge to use this kind of tool. Much more oriented like to your own Android knowledge, especially like the most difficult learning curve here is going to be if you want like to implement some computer vision stuff. It's going to be all about like a bitmap manipulation and stuff like that. Then you have like the steepest learning curve lies with MediaPipe and TensorFlow the most. where here you need some machine learning knowledge. You need to know how the things work on the behind. If you want to build your own model, train your own model, you need sometimes like some NDK, C++ knowledge to go deep and having your own pipeline on the device. So let's see the different tools in detail. First, I'm going to focus on the tools that can leverage your skills, so all the coding assistants and chats. So we have many tools, and I'll be focusing on these 3 tools: Gemini, Copilot, and JetBrains AI. So there are many assistants, and every assistant I expose, like Gemini, Copilot, JetBrains AI, can be seen as pair programmers, kind of. They're gonna help you boost your productivity. You can maybe explore new ideas of like a way of coding, way of thinking about an issue, learning new stuff also, new language. Maybe you can ask many things. And the first thing is when you get an answer from this kind of assistant or chat, don't blindly accept everything. Always like understand what is being put as an answer, and then choose whatever it is needed for you. Also, the security and privacy matters a lot. So if you want to use any AI assistants, chats, and so on, within your business, check first your company policy before adding this kind of tool, because sometimes you can leak the whole code base to an AI tool, and that's probably not what the company desired. So be mindful of how you use your AI assistant and AI chat. Okay, so first demo, I'm gonna jump on Android Studio to show you how Copilot, the AI assistant, works, and then on IntelliJ for JetBrains AI. Okay, so on Android Studio, this is the project I've worked with my company. So we've chosen to go with Copilot, which is quite isolated on the project. So Copilot here knows the whole context of the project. So for example, here I'm just going to show you how it can help to write some tests, some unit tests here. You see, it's going to be quite fast. So I'm going to propose, okay, I want to write some tests. Okay, I'm going to put, okay, I want a new test. Okay, so Copilot is going to say, okay, maybe this test is not available yet, so let's add it. You can see, okay, why is putting this away? Because, okay, man, you just copy pasted one of my tests. Well, I'm not gonna accept that. So up, going down. So okay, well, I'm not quite happy with this one, but good try. Okay, a new one maybe. No, same answer. Obviously, demo effect. Sometimes just don't want to do the thing I want. Okay, so should. Is there going to be a proposal here? No. Okay. No. Okay. And if I want to put another test, maybe he's going to propose some other stuff. Obviously. Yes, maybe. Come on. Well, demo effect, you know. If I go, for example, in another thing, if I want, okay, add test, should get if the user is not in call. Okay, get, because they know the concept, the context. So if I did a mistake here, they're gonna do the same mistake when they're gonna generate the code. So it should have been check here, and should be checked here. But on paper, like it can help you automate a lot of stuff, lots of cases actually if you want like to have a good coverage of your code. So it can accelerate and boost your test production. And on the JetBrains AI side, this is my set project for the Mistral AI SDK. One thing that is very interesting, especially if you are building SDK and need like to expose some proper documentation, it's like if you need like to add some documentation, you expose the comments and then you have like access to the generate with AI assistant. And it's actually pretty good. Modulo the response from the server. Okay, demo effect again. Come on. Okay. And on paper, it writes some good documentation. Yeah. Super. Maybe I'll try like a bit later if it's working or not. Okay, AI chat. Here is to try to master the art of prompting. So when you are using like LLM-based chat, so ChatGPT, Gemini, and some other stuff, you need to provide the best context possible in order like to get the best answers. You're not chatting with a human, so don't be like vague on what you want. Be clear, be specific, and avoid as much as possible ambiguity. So I want a sample of Jetpack Compose list with maybe a card as an item and so on. So be precise in your prompt and refine it as much as you need for what you want in the end. The context is key. If you provide relevant information about your code, your goals, the desired outcome, I'm writing a big prompt and I actually want the response as a JSON file, specify it. It's not going to be there like by magic. So you need to specify all the things, and the context is very important. Like for example, don't do make this thing better. Try simplify this coding function, explain the changes, and so on. Use the keywords are your best friends. Use relevant technical terms like Jetpack Compose, core routine, room database, KMP, some other stuff like media pipe. Give a very precise word that the LLM will understand to build the answer. Structure your prompt write something, explain me how to find errors in this stack trace and so on. So provide lots of context, if you need if you don't understand a piece of code, copy paste in the prompt the piece of code that you want to know more about, and specify what the output you want. If you want directly some code, some bullet lists, some slides, and so on. Sometimes the first time won't be perfect, so maybe try to rephrase, refine, try to make things better at each iteration. Okay, so Gemini in Android Studio. That's a tool we have access now with the latest Android Studio version. It's directly built in Android Studio. When it was first introduced, it was activated by default, which is not quite okay, because maybe we don't want to use Gemini and leak your entire code base to Google. Yeah. So if you want to first don't want to do it, add the AI exclude files to say okay. I don't want to leak my entire code base to Gemini and keep it isolated on that. You can just use only the chat and not the coding assistant. So it can answer coding question. It has like the whole Android context already. So if you use it for Android development, that's very good. It can generate some code, help you debug some part of your code, and so on. So that's a pretty good tool that was introduced in Android Studio. Yeah, so if you don't want like to leak everything, just add this AI exclude file with a star inside. Say, okay, don't fetch all the file in my project. So for example, here you can get quick answers to like how do I use room in a project, how can I make my app more accessible, and so on. So you can ask like different oriented questions with Android. It can also like generate some codes. So like if you are starting with Compose and don't know how to use a lazy grid with Compose and so on, like Gemini can help you understand how it works and provide some codes so you have a starting point. Or it can improve some part of your code. For example, I have a big function which I think needs some optimization, simplification. So you can say, okay, here's my piece of code, my function, for example. Try to simplify this code, and it can like sometimes provide you like a much more optimized way or simpler way for this function. Okay, so to sum up, Gemini in Android Studio, it can offer like lots of stuff, chat, a coding assistant that gonna help you boost your productivity, solve your problem. So kind of AI per programmer friend, and it can automate like repetitive tasks. The cost, 0, like almost like depending on how you value your code. So it's free to use, but Google will know the context of your project. So the learning curve is quite fast. It has a nice integration with Android Studio. It's trained for Android development, come with no additional cost. Obviously, you have the privacy control, so you can like opt in, opt out. But it's still in development, so it's not perfect right now. You don't have any offline support. Like enabling Gemini to fetch your project might have some privacy concern. Regarding Copilot, same thing, same main usage, but it has different costs. For individual, it starts at like $10 a month, and depending on the enterprise package, can be like a bit more, but the same linear curve. You have a nice plugin, an official plugin for Android Studio. It works quite nice. You can easily connect your Android Studio with your GitHub account. It's a nice interop. Lots of features, especially if you are also on the GitHub side for MRs, pull requests, GitHub Actions, and so on. So it can be like also on the GitHub side. Privacy control and context awareness also is a key point. On the cons, it's like non-negligible cost for especially if it's like a big company, you need more and more seats. No offline support, unfortunately, and the same privacy concern as Gemini. Regarding JetBrains AI, it comes like with $10 per month, so 8 something euros. Same thing, but inside IntelliJ. The plugin is already there, very efficient for code completion. Well, the demo failed, obviously, but very good like to generate commit message, documentation, explaining error, and so on. And the fun fact is like JetBrains AI in the behind is using LLMs models from OpenAI and Google. So, and actually the whole data that is sent to JetBrains AI is not used to train the models. So that's a pretty good thing. The code is still in development, no offline support, so maybe that's why it's failed, maybe not a good internet connection here. Same privacy concern, but on paper, the data should not be used to train the JetBrains AI models. Okay, let's have a new try using Gemini. So here comes the chat. So I can ask maybe like, okay, give me an example of lazy list with Jetpack Compose. And first demo that went well. So here's like a very pretty standard, let's say, code sample, a simple list item. So the more context you add, the more accurate the response will be. So I can like use the same thing, but like, yeah, okay. Like use a lazy list with Jetpack Compose, and the item should be a card with 2 text and an image. And if you precise more and more stuff, you'll get more and more precise like answers and really what you want like to achieve from the beginning. Let's have a. Can I generate my documentation? I want like to show you how it works. Please work. Yes. Okay, it's back. You can see like for the coding generation, the document generation, it worked pretty well. Like giving the context of the code base, this code executes like the completion for model, and depending of the parameters and so on. So that's pretty good. Like to have at least a first draft of your documentation, then you can refine. Obviously, don't take everything as it is, but that's a good starting point. Also, you have many settings, so like you can have a look. It's quite nice. Okay, so now we saw how to leverage our skill. Now we're gonna see how we can build like smarter and richer apps. So again, Gemini is there. So you can use Gemini directly from your Android app to use some generative AI stuff. So it easily enables Gen AI capabilities in your app. So it's going to be LLM models on the backend or on device to have some features like sentiment analysis, having an AI assistant bot inside your application, text summary, transcription, translation. There's many options here like to play with. If you want like to go with Gemini on Android, only use the Google AI SDK, which is like an Android library for prototyping. As there is a high risk you can leak your API key if it's embedded in your app. We cannot protect having like a 100% like proof that the API key won't leak. So prefer using like Gemini with Firebase, thanks to Vertex AI, or having your own gateway through your REST API, for example, at your company. That way you won't leak your API key and you'll be safe about that. Unfortunately, for the on-device part, Gemini Nano, it's still in a private preview. Like, we don't have access unless we know some context. So cannot be used so far by a large portion of the developer. So how you can make the best of Gemini? Same as the chats or the AI assistants, it's LLM based, so you need to provide the best context possible. And for Gemini, you can provide text and images as context. So the better prompt it will be, the better answer you will have. And experiment also with the different parameters. You can play with the temperature, the top K, top P. That's like to say the randomness or the of the answer. Like the temperature will play with the creativity of the LLM on the behind. So like test and do what you want with that. So how it works for the Google AI SDK. So the SDK is directly embedded in the Android app, which talk to the Gemini API on the backend side. For the Vertex AI, almost the same thing, but different. Here you have Firebase embedded in your app, which is going to talk directly to the Firebase server, which is going to talk then to the Vertex AI when it has access to all the Gemini models. Okay, how to add that inside your app? For prototyping only, you can like play with the GenAI client library. If you want like to go to production, your own gateway or Firebase. Then it's pretty similar. Like the both implementation, like either like the Google AI SDK or Firebase has almost the same API. So this is the API for the Google AI SDK. You need to specify the model, your API key, you put the configuration you want, like temperature, top K, top P, and so on, the privacy settings. And for the Firebase one, you ditch the API key and you have pretty much the same thing. You just need like to replace like the Firebase, Vertex AI, and you're good to go. And to query some content, if you want like to generate a response with a simple prompt, the prompt will be just a simple string. You can combine a prompt with an image, and you can also get your result inside a stream. So you will get the answer as the server's response. So if you want like to do some kind of animation on front, like a chat which is like giving answer in real time, that's the way to do. Okay, so Gemini for Android can be from 0 to a few bucks, depending of your usage, obviously, and depending on the model you are using. So with that, you can bring like lots of feature, lots of generative AI feature to your Android app. Very fast integration within Android. There is a proxy with Firebase, or create your own proxy. Obviously, hopefully, we'll have access to Gemini Nano very soon, and the learning curve is quite fast. On the cons side, you see there is still a lot of things to do. Lots of things are still in preview, so take care of the preview stuff. It might not be really ready for production. Heavy process can be costly if you send like big prompts and you are waiting for lots of tokens in the output. Check the bill. Don't embed the Google AI SDK inside your Android app because of the API key that might be leaked inside. Okay, another thing which is MLKit. It covers like two main fields, NLP, which is like the natural language processing, so everything about text in the input, text in the output, like translation, language identification, and so on. And like vision, the vision part, everything about images and image processing. So MLKit brings like powerful and easy to use ML feature, and it's optimized for mobiles or for both Android and iOS. And you need some very minimal coding resources. So you'll see how like very straightforward it is to use it on Android. Google provides some pre-built model. So if you don't know much about how to build your own models with some machine learning stuff, you don't need that knowledge to use MLKit. So you're good to go. You can build some very nice feature with like image and text recognition, face detection, barcode scanning, and so on. And if you don't find your own use case, for some part of MLKit, you can like train your own data and use your own model. And the model inside the app can come like unbundled, which is like it directly downloaded and managed by the Play services, directly bundled inside your app, so it's linked statically at the build time, or can be dynamically downloaded at runtime. So when the user reach a given feature, you'll be downloading like the wanted ML model for that. And also, like every model can increase quite a lot the size of your app. So think about that. So a bunch of libraries regarding vision, so text recognition, face detection, and so on. So the newest library was like the document scanning that was out in February. That allows you like to scan documents with your camera and use it as PDF or bitmap. And on the NLP side, so you can like translate, identify the language, identity extraction, like to extract some entity, which can be like a mail, a phone number, an email address, an address, and so on, in a text. So for example, I'm going to show you how like the text recognition is working. It allows like to extract some text from an image. It's pretty simple. It can recognize like more than 100 language and so on. So the response will be like some block of text. Inside you have access to the lines, the element, and the symbol. So we can deconstruct like a phrase into like a word and a symbol, which is going to be a letter. So you will have access to everything that has been found in the picture. So how to do it? You add the library, and then you initialize your client. So you're calling your text recognition client with some options inside. So here I'm just going to use the Latin language. I'm providing like the input image from a bitmap, and then I'm passing this input image to my client. So I'm calling like a recognizer.process with my image, and then I got like the good old success listener, failure listener. If it's a success, I'm having access to the text, the blocks, and so on, and the position of these texts inside the image. If it fails, I need like to warn the user that has failed. This pattern is for 90% of the MLKit libraries. So you just need like to know how to configure your client, provide your image or your text, and then you're gonna call the process method and then play with the result. So then you're gonna enhance your image or like take the text that has been processing. MLKit comes for free, so all models can be used for whatever you want. There is a fast integration in Android, so everything is on device, so it's not communicating with the server. Free to use, pre-built model can be like match lots of use cases. Custom model deployment, and obviously it's optimized for mobile usage. The little points like it's a black box, so you don't know how the model has been made and so on. There are like limited model customization just available for some part of MLKit. And some feature requires like the Google Play services. So if you want like to ditch that, you can't. And sometimes like the performances for computer vision is not so good. I'll jump back later for MLKit samples, and then I just want like to move forward to Google AI Edge, which is the package for MediaPipe and TensorFlow Lite. Well, TensorFlow Lite was there like 2 days ago, but Google decided like to rebrand the thing, so now it's Lite RT. So TensorFlow Lite, this is like a high performance graph for runtime for on-device. This is like the steepest learning curve we can have as an Android developer if you want like to play with machine learning. If there is a lot of flexibility in the entire flow, it's up to us to build the model and then maybe also like to implement the machine learning pipeline on the device. You can find like an existing model and convert it to the TensorFlow Lite format, but it's pretty difficult like to get into it. You need like some knowledge of Python, C++, and so on. So it's definitely the steepest learning curve for us Android developer. You can also take with TensorFlow advantage of the Play services to link your model to your app. There is like a high-level API with that can be used with Java and Kotlin. Otherwise, like you will have like to deal with some C++ API to go deep and control your ML pipeline. And yeah, as I said, when I built the slides, it was TensorFlow, but like 2 days ago, Google decided like to say, hey, TensorFlow is no more. Say hey to Lite ART. So the migration like should not be difficult if you still have some TensorFlow stuff. The migration guide is pretty straightforward, just a change of package name and stuff like that. So should not be very surprising. On the cons, pros, this is the steepest learning curve. It comes from 0, depending on the building infrastructure you have on your side to build your own models. But here you have a full control of the flow for your machine learning stuff. It's low latency, real-time performances, offline support, it's on device, and you can bring or convert some existing models. But it requires some Python knowledge, also some conversion, some ML knowledge regarding like the format and stuff like that. So if you want like to go that way, build your own ML knowledge first. And for MediaPipe, the in between MLKit and TensorFlow. So on low-level side, there is the MediaPipe framework, which is like a low-level tool that can be inside your Android app to run the ML pipeline. So this is like dealing with the NDK and C++ to make it run on the device. And you need to be familiar with some MediaPipe framework concept like packets, graph calculator. So you cannot like just go and use the API. You need like to have some knowledge of that before going into the MediaPipe framework. So the learning curve can be quite steep here. But the easiest like part of MediaPipe is MediaPipe solution. So it provides kind of similar feature like MLKit. So it's cross-platform. You can use it on Android and other OS. It's optimized for mobile. It comes with pre-built model, or you can like build your own stuff and that match the use cases. It covers like lots of fields, vision, text, audio, Gen AI, and stuff like that. And you can build and evaluate your own models if you want, using model makers and Studio, which is like a low-code solution for making models. And you need also like to add your models in your app resources. So like MLKit, it can increase the app size. So what solution offers MLKit, MediaPipe? So lots of stuff in the vision part. Image classification, gesture recognition, and recognition, some Gen AI stuff, which is still experimental, like image generation, LLM inference. It can recognize like audio, like sound, and classify sounds in an audio file. And on the text side, there's like some language identification and classification for example, sentiment analysis. I'm going to show you like a sample of how MediaPipe work, and the pattern will be the same for almost every libraries. So it's just like to do, have some landmarks detection. It can be a static image, live stream, it's up to you. How to do it? You're going to add like the task vision dependency in your app, download the latest landmarks model from the documentation, add it to your app resources assets folder, and then define a bunch of options you want. Then, almost like a MLKit, call the client, call detect with the image, and that's it. You are now like you have access to the result, the position of the landmarks inside the image, so you can like do whatever you want with the image and the positions. So MediaPipe, to sum up, you can build like a ML-based feature like vision, text, audio, Gen AI with turnkey models. So you don't have like to know how to build your own models. If the use case matches the outcome you want, go for it. The learning curve is like medium high, depending if you want like to deep dive in the MediaPipe framework. So lots of use cases covered with MediaPipe. It's on device, so that's pretty good. And let's show you one. If I still have time, yeah, I'm a bit over time, but okay. Gonna show you a little demo. Tac. Device. I want my Pixel 7 here. Connecting to the device. Okay, this is me. This is my hand that has been like recognized. Let's make it like a bit more easier. Ah, come on. Definitely the demo effect, obviously. So all the like the landmarks of my hand has been recognized by the MediaPipe stuff. So you can check. You can like experiment with a lot of things regarding MediaPipe. So that's a very nice tool without knowing much about ML. Bit of documentation here, like how to set up like a Gemini Copilot or German AI into your IDE. Regarding AI and ML tools, lots of stuff regarding MLKit, MediaPipe, Gemini, and if you want to deep dive in one of these three, there are very good code labs available on the code labs made by Google. So I recommend you to have a look. Thank you very much. If you have any question, I'll be around. So thank you.